Meghan, turning into the frankly ridiculous, exhausting circus, pathetic. PR does not obscure the Duchess's failure. Hello, and a very warm welcome to LVT News YouTube. Well, folks, it's not long before the big moment is here. The coronation is coming closer and closer. And many people have predicted that as the time comes nearer, Mother Teresa Montecito is going to do something ridiculous to get attention for herself. So might these predictions have come to pass? Well, I'll leave that for you to decide. So an article has appeared in the Telegraph that I found pretty interesting. The gist of the article is about how Meghan wrote to King Charles right after the Oprah interview. And in that letter, she talked about her belief and unconscious bias within the royal family. Now, supposedly in that letter, she also named the mysterious royal who made those comments about Archie's skin color before he was even born. According to the article, the fact that the king did not answer Meghan's letter to her satisfaction played a big role in the choice not to come to the coronation. This article reads as pretty pro-Meghan, to me, and it seems to try to portray the king in a. And originally, I didn't pay so much attention to the article. It doesn't name any of the sources. And while it is a bit sensational to me, it didn't seem all that plausible. So I assume this was basically a pot shot at the king. Well, it seems I couldn't have been more wrong in this situation. Meghan released a statement right after it was tweeted out to everybody by Who Else Went Home at Scooby-Doo. And it turns out that Meghan really did write that letter. And her statement is hilarious. You know, I would love to know when Meghan started going about her life in the present 4 months ago. Let's remember, she participated in that 6-part docu-series that show that her entire life and her money are certainly rooted in the past. In fact, I don't see any indications that she wants to move forward and doesn't want to look back. I swear, this whole mess reminds me of that old movie, Groundhog Day, where he has to relive the same day over and over again. I seem to remember that the very same kind of denials were issued where Meghan and Harry claimed they didn't have anything to do with the creation and content of Finding Freedom. And so then there was a court case that exposed the lies for what they were. Does Meghan really expect people to believe her when she says the same thing again? Just imagine Meghan or Harry talking about the exhausting circus being created by the media and the royal reporters. Just imagine not understanding exactly what kind of hypocrisy it takes to accept no responsibility for their own role in the creation of this exhausting circus. And just imagine writing that statement after all the interviews, after the podcasts, and after that whole Netflix docu-series. All of those things were so focused on the past, not the present, that Meghan believes she's living in speculation started right out before the article showed up. Did Meghan release the information, or did the king do it, or somebody in his camp release that information? Well, nobody knows for sure, but if I had to guess, I would say it certainly came out of Camp Sussex. It's hard to believe that the king or anybody in the royal family would leak this kind of thing when it does not make them look good. It's a lot more believable that it came from Meghan and Harry, and it did not have the impact they were hoping that it would. The two of them have completely exhausted their victim visa cards. The race thing isn't working for them anymore, and they're mostly unpopular thanks to their reputation as liars, which, by the way, they have earned completely. So who knows if they were the ones who leave the story. I would bet, though, it was them. Maybe the truth is going to come out in the future. And I'm sure, though, Meghan Markle is not gonna be the one telling it. But let's be clear, they were the ones who created this whole media circus because they were so desperate to sell their Spotify stuff, their Netflix content and their memoirs. And then as soon as they received the invitation to the coronation, they continued with this media circus by telling their PR to inform everybody. Even Oprah and Gayle King discussed the decision to go or not to go to the coronation. It's always the same people, isn't it? Oprah and Gayle, King and Scooby-Doo. And now they're trying to condemn the media circus that they themselves created. What a couple of hypocrites. Meghan also has not helped anybody. Her bad behavior, combined with her racist chant, has actually made a lot of people feel negative towards biracial